raise your hand if you have your listening ears on. Awesome, because we're going to begin, okay?
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Susie Wu. I'm a pharmacy student. I'm going to school so I can be a pharmacist. And this is Officer Shiana. Today we have a presentation for you guys about medication safety. Before we get started, I actually want to go over a few rules that everyone needs to know for our presentation. So the first one is I'm going to be teaching you a lot of new things, but we're going to save questions for the end. So when I'm talking, if you have a question, it might be a really good question, but because there's a lot of people here, we're going to save and ask questions at the very end, okay? And then the second thing is we like questions, but we don't want stories today. So you might have a lot of information about, ooh, I've heard about this before. I know that my mom takes 2 blue medications every morning, but we consider that personal information. So we don't want to hear that today. If you have a general question about something you're confused about, you can ask that at the very end. And then the third thing is I actually have to show you a few goodies that we brought for you for after the lesson. Everyone is going to get an orange lanyard. We're going to give you a Medication Safety Patrol badge that you can color and cut out, and then you can put it on your lanyard just like this. This badge means that I listened well to the lesson today and I know all about medication safety. So this is for everyone that's listening really well today. And then we also have house-shaped magnets. It says all of the things that we're going to learn today on it. So you can go home, show it to your parents, put it on your fridge, and tell them about everything that we learned today. Does that sound good? Yes. Okay, cool. We're gonna get started. Okay. So these are the safety rules that we're going to learn today. And we're going to go over each of them in detail in a little bit. So the first one is to only take medicine from a trusted adult. And we'll talk about what a trusted adult means. Never share your medicine. Keep medicine in its original container. And the last one is always store medicine in a safe place. And we'll talk about what a safe place means. So first one, who is a trusted adult? First of all, there's your there's your parents and guardians. So that means anyone that's in charge of taking care of you at home. So it might be usually your parents, sometimes it might be your grandparents. In special cases, it might be a babysitter. Anyone that's in charge of taking care of you, it's safe to take medication from them. What if you're not at home? There are nurses. You might have a school nurse. When you're feeling sick in class, you can ask the teacher, can I go to the nurse's office? And then they'll know how to take care of you. They might give you some water. They might give you some medication. It's always safe to take medication from a nurse. And then in special circumstances, if it's an emergency and you really need help, you might call 911. And that's when a paramedic or EMT might show up. So these are the people that are trained to give medical help in emergency situations. And depending on who you call, when you call 911, you might get a paramedic or EMT, or you might get a firefighter, or you might get a police officer. And actually, Officer Shiana can talk about what she does as an officer.
So I'm Officer Shiana Isabel, and part of my job is to help you guys out when you call 911. If you see somebody that has taken medication that they don't know the name of, or they took too many, or somebody took some of your medication and they're not supposed to do that, and you need to call for some help, you can call 911, and my job would be to show up and help you out. Okay?
Great. And the last trusted adult is a pharmacist, and that's what I'm going to school to be. And a pharmacist is someone that can work in a hospital, or you might usually see them like at a CVS, a Stop and Shop, a Walgreens. They have their own little space in the shop, and that's called a pharmacy. And our job is mostly to make sure that what medicine you're taking is effective, that it'll make you feel better, and that it's safe, especially for you. So the pharmacist's job has a lot to do with medication safety, and even though the pharmacist might not be the one having you take the medication, you can always trust what a pharmacist has to say about the medication. And there are actually 2 categories of medicine. So one is prescription, and a prescription is a doctor's note. So let's say you got sick, you were at home, and then your parents bring you to the doctor's office. The doctor says, I think you're sick, you need a medicine. So they write you a note. That's the prescription. And you take that to the pharmacy, and then you can get your medicine. So there are certain types of medicine you can only get with that doctor's note. And then you can see it usually comes in like an orange bottle. There might be pills in it. It can come in an inhaler. And then there are some medicines that are liquids. So there are all different kinds of medicines. Then there's also non-prescription. Those are the kinds that you don't need a doctor's note for. You can actually find them like in aisles all around the pharmacy, and you can just buy those even if you don't have a doctor's note. And those are also like pills. They can be vitamins. You can get liquids. Again, all different types of medications. But the most important thing is that however you get your medication, you should always keep it in the original container that you got it in. So a prescription, you might get it in an orange bottle, or you might buy a non-prescription and it'll come in like a random box, but you should always keep it in the container that you got it in. Let's see. Okay, here's a good. And the reason that I'm saying that it's important to keep things in the original container is because if you spill something on the floor or you just leave it somewhere not in the original container, you will never know what it is. And the reason I say that is because sometimes medicines can look a lot like candy, and it's hard to tell. So in order to be safe and know exactly what you're taking is medicine or is candy, we want you to keep it in the container that you got it in. And this is an example of what happens if you don't keep things in the container that you got it in. So some things are gummies. Gummies can be vitamins. Gummies can be candy. Or things might be the same color. They might be the same shape. So it's often hard to tell if something is candy or medicine if you left it out of the container. And we can pass this around at the very end so people can see. And this is an example of what might come on the box or the bottle that you got your medicine in. A medication label will, especially for prescription medicines, it'll have your name on it. So you take medicine only if it has your name on it. And then it says the name of the medicine, what am I taking? I want to know what I'm taking. And then how to take the medicine. So that's very important because how to take the medicine is the doctor's instructions for what you're going to do. So this one says, give 1 teaspoon by mouth 2 times a day for 10 days. That's kind of confusing. It has a lot in it. But this basically tells your parents that you need to give your kid 1 teaspoon, not 2, not 3, 1 teaspoon by mouth 2 times a day. Not 1 time a day, not 3 times a day, 2 times a day for 10 days, not more or less. So with medicines, it's very important to take exactly how much the doctor told you to for exactly how long. So even if you feel better in 2 days, I don't need the medicine anymore, right? No, you have to take medicine exactly as the doctor said. So if this says 10 days, you take it for 10 days. And the last thing about the label is that's why it's important to keep medicines in the container that you got it in, because if the medicine is left out and you don't have the label anymore, then you won't know how to take it. So it's very important to keep prescriptions in the bottle that you got. Ooh, and the last one is never share medicine. So in school, we learn a lot about how sharing is good, and sharing is good if you share your pencils, your books. There are some things that we should never share, and that includes food. Sometimes if you know a friend is allergic, sharing food with them might not be good at all. If they're allergic to peanuts, giving them peanuts could be very dangerous. And in the same way, we don't share medicine because actually people can be allergic to medicine too. And you won't know what happens if you give someone medicine that's not for them. So let's say you have a friend that's really sick and you know, I just had a cough, I was given this medicine, I'm going to share medicine with my friend. But that's not good at all because you don't know if that friend could be allergic. Even if they have a cough, it might not be the same exact germ that caused the cough. So you should always ask for help from a trusted adult. So actually the most helpful thing you can do for your friends that are sick is ask the teacher to go to the nurse's office, or if you're at home, you can tell your parents, hey, my friend is feeling sick, what should I do? So never share your medicine. And we should always store medicine in a safe place. Safe places are places that are locked, so that you have a lock on it and only your parents know the password to it, or in a high place that no one else can get to, so on like the top shelf. This is the reason we do this is because if you keep it on a low shelf or just like on a table, sometimes if you have pets or if you have like younger sisters and brothers, they might accidentally get into it, and it's not good for them if they take medicine that's not meant for them. So we always want to keep medication in a safe place so that only the people that are supposed to take the medication can take it. So if you kind of imagine, don't say anything, but imagine, where in my house do my parents keep medicines? And if you know that it's not in a safe place, after you go home today, you should tell them that it has to be somewhere that's locked or on a high shelf so that no one else can get to it. Okay, so that was actually all the lesson part, and now Officer Shiana has a game for everyone to play. So you can take out your smiley faces that you've got.
All right, are we ready? This is good choice, bad choice. Green one shows that it's a good choice, right? And the red one that's frowning means that it's a bad choice. So we have a few questions, and you guys are going to hold up the green one saying that it's a good choice, or the red one that it's a bad. We got it? Yeah. All right, let's roll. Oh, that just says what I just said, huh? Good choice or bad choice? Cindy takes more medicine than instructed, than she's told to. She takes more medicine than she's told to. All right, everybody got it right. Good job. That's a bad choice. Good choice or bad choice? Julie discovers an object that may be medicine or candy. She decides to immediately tell an adult. Good choice or bad choice? She doesn't know quite what it is. Good choice. Good job, everybody got it right. Good choice or bad choice? Jack decides to share his medicine with Susie. Should we share our medicine? No. Good job, you guys. Julie is 6 years old and feels sick. She decides to take her medicine all by herself. Good choice or bad choice? Yeah, that one's a bad choice. We shouldn't be taking medicine by ourselves. We should be taking them with a trusted adult, huh? Good choice or bad choice? Kevin tells his parents that medicine should be stored in a secure cabinet in your home. I say Kevin's pretty smart. Yeah? Good job. That's a good choice. Good choice or bad choice? Jonathan isn't sure if this is medicine or candy. He decides to eat it anyways. Good choice or bad choice? Oh, that's definitely a bad one, huh? Good job. If he takes something that he's not sure if it's candy or medicine, he could really get sick. Your friend Emily is sick. You tell her that you will not share your medicine with her. Is that a good choice or bad choice? Oh yeah, hold up those smiley faces. That's a great choice, huh? Good job. David stores his medicine with his toys. Is that a good choice or a bad choice? Where should we store our medicine? Safe place, right? Or up in a high cabinet. Great job. Kathy feels sick. She decides to ask a trusted adult for help instead of taking medicine by herself. Good choice or bad choice? Good choice. Awesome. My goodness, you guys are pros.
All right. And then this is the trickiest part, is when we test you on the rules that we said at the very beginning. So the safety rules that we went over at the very beginning of the lesson were: only take medicine from a trusted adult. Good. When do you share your medicine? Never. Keep medicine in its
own bottle.
Yes, in its original container. And then you guys were actually right. Always store medicine in a safe place. Great, okay. So if we go to the next slide, you guys were all right. Very good.
Wow. A pluses in this place.
Okay, so that's actually the end of the lesson. And if we have questions, no stories, but questions that are general, we can ask them now.
There are like animal medicine, right?
Yes, there are different types of medicines. There can be for people or animals, but you should only take medicine that's for you. And your pet should only take medicine that's for your pet. Okay, about in the picture.
If you don't get your medicine right, what would happen? Would
If
you
you-
get better or worse?
So the question is, if you don't get your medicine right, what would happen? Would you feel better or worse?
Worse.
Yes, you would feel worse. So when you get your medicine, you should always follow exactly how the doctor told you to take it. If you don't take it, then you will feel worse. Black shirt.
My mom's a nurse and she takes pills.
Okay. No stories. We only want questions, okay?
Is it okay if you put like your medicine that in a medicine purse, and then you put it somewhere where no one will find it, and only you can find it?
So the question is it okay if you put your medicine in a purse and then you hide it so no one else can find it? So if you know where it is, or I guess like if your parents know where it is and it's a secure place, then that's safe. But the best case is if it's locked. So if you put it in a random bag and then you hide it, it's always possible that, like, let's say you're playing hide and seek, someone finds it. You always want to put some like medication somewhere where it's safe, like absolutely safe, and best case is if it's locked.
Do they have like if you have a medicine container for it and it's already in a container, can you put it in there like if you're supposed to have them for a certain day, like Sunday?
Okay, so that's a good question. So we said to always keep medicine in its original container, but if you guys have seen, sometimes there are like pill boxes, and they say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you put your medicine in that container instead of the one that you got it in. So I would say those are only for adults. For kids, you need to keep the medicine in the container you got it in, because when you put it in, you might make a mistake. So those pill boxes are only for adults.
What's medication?
Oh, sorry?
What does medication mean?
What does medication mean? That's pretty much the long word for medicine. So it's something that you take that makes you feel better. Oh, can you say it again?
Why can't we share medicine?
Why can't we share medicines? So this is because we're not doctors. We don't know what our friends need. So even if you may think that your friend has a cough, I had a cough, I'm going to give them my cough medicine, that's not always the best thing to do. They might be allergic. Like, we don't share foods because my friend might be allergic. So you don't share medicine either.
What if your friend gives you medicine?
If your friend gives you medicine, you say, no! I only take medicines from trusted adults.
So, like, when you go to a store and you forgot to eat the medicine, did you bring the medicine with you? Or when you're, like, going to a store or a mall?
Oh, so you mean if you're going to a store and I know I'm supposed to take my medication now, but I forgot it at home, what do you do?
We bring it to a store or a mall.
Oh, like if I have to take medicine at a certain time, can I bring it with me?
Yeah.
I think so. If you're with an adult and they know that's when you're supposed to take it, then it's okay. But when you're keeping it at home, like when you're usually keeping it at home and you're not taking it all the time, then you need to keep it in a safe place. But if you're supposed to take it, the adult will have control of that medicine. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, if your friend is working at a pharmacy or something, and they give you your medication, is that okay?
So if your friend is working at a pharmacy, is it okay if they give you the medicine? So usually the people working at the pharmacy, they're in charge of like just giving you the medication like in a bottle, but they won't tell you to take the medicine right there. So like if I'm a pharmacist, I'm only handing you the medicine in a bag, but it's not something that we would do to tell you like to take the medication right now. So if you get the medicine, like your parent picks up the medication from the pharmacy, then your parent can tell you to take the medication, but that's not usually something a pharmacist would do. All the way in the back.
If you have two like different medicines and they look the same, but one's for adults and one's for kids, what do you do?
If you have two medicines and they look the same, but one's for adults and one's for kids, what do? You should always keep them in the container that you got it in. So a lot of medicines will be labeled like, let's say, Tylenol or whatever the medicine is for children. So that's how you know that it's for kids. And then the adult medication will just like be it's the regular medication. So you should always keep things in the container that you got it in. Few more. How do you know if somebody is a trusted adult? So a few of the trusted adults we know, we just presented. So there's your parents, could be your grandparents, nurses, pharmacists, and then the emergency people that come when you call 911. If you don't know if someone's a trusted adult, you should ask if you can call your parents. Like if you're at a friend's house and you're like, oh, I don't really know like my friend's parent really well, you should always call your parent and ask, can I take medication from this person? Do they know what I need?
What happens if like your medicine gets mixed up with your parents? What could happen?
What happens if your medication gets mixed up with your parents? What could happen? So let's say you accidentally, like you're always supposed to keep medicine in the original container, but you forgot. We don't know what's gonna happen. So if you don't know like if this medication is your parents or yours, like just don't take it. You can always go to the doctor or the pharmacy for help and call and ask them like, what is this medicine? But if you don't know, you should never take it because you don't know what could happen. Okay. And in the gray shirt.
What if you like you're somewhere like shopping or something and you forgot your medicine and you forgot to take it?
So you were away from home and you forgot to take your medication. What do? So if you missed a dose of your medication, you can always call a pharmacist, like on the telephone and ask, I think I was supposed to take this medicine today, but I forgot. What should I do? So if you don't know what you should do, don't like take more if you don't know. Just ask for help. Okay. A few more questions. Oh, in the white shirt. Yes.
If medicine is supposed to be refrigerated, does it still have to be like on a high shelf?
So if a medicine has to be refrigerated, should it also be on a high shelf? The answer is yes. So even though we can't like lock our refrigerators, if you have a medicine, because some medicines have to be stored in the fridge, they have to be kept cold. Yes, you should keep it on a high shelf and maybe like in the back of the fridge so no one like grabs it like immediately. Okay. Do we have time for more questions?
Why don't we take like 2 or 3 more?
Okay, 2 more. In the way back. Yes, Spider-Man.
What if medicine looks the same and then it gets spilled with the cap's not on, and it looks the same and it gets spilled? How would you know how to like separate it and get it back?
So let's say you have 2 bottles of medicine, they're both open, and then they spill. What do? Don't try to separate it out by yourself. Well, I mean, it's going to be something that your parents are going to do anyway. So you shouldn't like have the medicine bottles by yourself, your parents. But if your parents accidentally spill it and they don't know what's what, you can call the pharmacy because pharmacists have ways of telling like which pill is which. So never try to like put things back by yourself. Always ask for help if you don't know. Okay. And let's say last question. Oh yeah, I was supposed to call it. So was your question like, if you spill the pill, what do you do?
When you separate the pills, what do you do after?
Oh, okay. So let's say you spilled the pills, you called the pharmacist, or you brought everything to the pharmacist. Someone that knows like which medicine is which, so usually the pharmacist will help you separate it out, and then after that you always keep it in the container that you got it in. So you separated that out, now it's in the right container, always keep it like that. Try not to spill. Okay, so I think that was our last question, and we're going to hand out the lanyards that you're going to get, and then we also have medication safety patrol badges because you all listened really well. I think you're all experts now. And then magnets for you guys to take home, and it has the rules that we talked about so you can talk to your parents about what you guys learned today. All right?